Hello friends, in this video we are going to talk about links in HTML. So a link is simply something that we click on our web page to take us to somewhere specific. Generally we use links to go to external websites or applications, or we can also use it to move between pages within our same website, or even still we can use links to move from one section to another within the same web page. So in this video, let's see how to use links to do all of the above in HTML. So the first thing we are going to see is how to use a link that is going to direct you to an external website or application. In order to use links in HTML, we use a tag known as the A tag, which stands for anchor tag, and it is defined by writing an A and pressing enter in VS Code, since this helps me autocomplete my code. But if you are using a code editor that doesn't offer autocomplete features, you can simply type this out to create an anchor tag. And after writing this, within this attribute called href, I am going to specify where I want this link to take me to whenever it is clicked on. So here I'm going to write the URL for an external application or website, which is going to be youtube.com. So I will write the URL for YouTube homepage, which is https. So this is the URL for YouTube homepage, which I have written within my href attribute, meaning that when I click on this link, it is going to take me to this direction. And then after I have closed the opening A tag, we can see that this other part here is the closing tag already. So between the opening and the closing tag, I'm going to write the text which is going to be displayed for the user or the website visitor, which he or she is going to click on before being taken to this URL which we have specified within the href attribute. So I'm going to simply write visit YouTube here, and I will save this. And now let's check our results on the browser. We can see that in our browser we see our message which we wrote, visit YouTube, and if I click on this link, this is how the link is displayed. It takes us to our YouTube homepage. We can see the YouTube URL which we specified here, and this is the YouTube homepage which we are taken to. We could also change this from YouTube to something else like Google, so that it should now take us to Google instead of YouTube. And here I will change visit YouTube to visit Google. And if I save this, we will check our result again. Now we see visit Google. I will click on this, and it takes us to our Google homepage. So that is how to use links to direct us to external web pages or websites. Now let us also see something interesting. We are going to see how to create a link in HTML that is going to prompt the user to send an email to another email address. So that is going to be done using the anchor tag seal. But in the href attribute, instead of putting the URL of an external website like this, we are going to write mail to and followed by a colon. And after this, you can write the email address which you want to send the mail to. So I'm going to send an email to Elon Musk. So I'm going to write Elon Musk email address here, which is elonmusk@gmail.com. And then I will change my message from visit Google to email Elon. Now what this does is that when we click on this, it is going to open whatever mail application you have in your device, and it is going to open a page that prompts you already to simply type a message and send to the email address which we have specified here. So here I'm going to save this, and we will check our result in the browser. Now we see the message saying email Elon. I will click on this, and we can see it has opened my email application on my computer, which is Microsoft Outlook. And we can see here also that the email address which we specified in our href is already selected here. So we simply have to type a subject and a message which we are going to send to this email address. So I will say the subject is going to be And after that, after giving the subject, I will now type the body of the message, and I will just give some random text here and click on send. And now we see this is the email I have just sent, which says I need a billion. So that is how to write a link in HTML that is going to prompt a user to send an email to a specific email address. Now let's also see how to write a link that is going to direct a user or a visitor of your website to another page within your same website. In order to do that, I have another HTML file which I already created within the same directory with my index.html file, and I named it index2.html, and this is its content. Now I will go back to my index.html file and I will write a link that is going to send a user to the other HTML page, which is index2.html. I will do that using the anchor tag seal, and then within my href I'm going to write the directory of the other HTML file. Since they are in the same directory or in the same folder, I can simply write the file name of the other HTML file. I will write a dot and a forward slash to specify that I want to go to another file within the same folder that this index.html file is currently in. And then I will choose the other file I want to go to. I can simply click on this, or I can decide to also type out the name manually. So I'll write index2.html, and it is going to automatically recognize that we are trying to access the other HTML file which is within the same directory called index2.html. And the message I'm going to write here is going to be visit second page. So I will save this and go back to my browser, and here we can see visit second page. The link is already displayed there, and I will click on this link and it takes us to the second page, and we can see that we have been enabled to access this page by clicking on a link. Now I can click on this backward arrow to go back to my index.html page, and that is it. Now the last thing I want to show you is how to create an HTML link that is going to direct you to another place or another path within your same web page without going to another page or without going to another website or application, just within the same page to facilitate navigation. So in order to demonstrate that for you, I'm going to go back to my other index2.html page, because there I already created a lot of content, and we can see inside this page I have two paragraphs. This is the first paragraph, which I have given an ID of PAR1, which stands for paragraph 1. Basically, an ID is a value that we give to elements within an HTML page to uniquely identify elements from one another. So I have given this paragraph the ID of PAR1, or paragraph 1, meaning that anytime I write or access PAR1, we are going to know that I am accessing this particular paragraph, and in that case I cannot give another element within this page the same ID of PAR1. So that is the ID for paragraph 1, and I also have a second paragraph which I have given an ID also. This time the ID is paragraph 2, or PAR2. Now within this page I'm going to create an anchor tag in my first paragraph. We can see that in the first paragraph we have a heading which contains the paragraph name, and then we have some random text generated below it. Now below the heading I'm going to add an anchor tag, and in the href attribute I am going to specify that I want this link to direct the user or the visitor to the second paragraph within the same page. So to do that, I will write a hashtag and then followed by the ID of the other element I want the link to direct the person to, which is going to be PAR2, stands for paragraph 2. So it means when somebody clicks on this link, we are going to take the person to paragraph 2 within the same page. This hashtag is to specify that it is an ID that we are referencing, and I'm going to give this a small text for the link to be displayed. Note that the link must always be displayed with a text which is written between the opening and closing href tags, because without this there will be nothing for the visitor to click on. Within this, I'm going to write the message visit paragraph 2, and then I will also add a break tag in order for this link to be separated from the rest of the text below in this paragraph. And I'm going to simply copy this line, and I will also paste it for the second paragraph. Below the heading of the second paragraph, I will add this link there. And instead of visiting paragraph 2, we are already in paragraph 2 here, so I will say paragraph 1, so that when we are in paragraph 2 and the link is clicked, the visitor should be taken to the first paragraph instead. And I will also change the ID from paragraph 2 to paragraph 1. And now let me save this, and we will open this page on our browser. Now we see this is our second page, or our second index.html, which is opened, and we have our contents as it was supposed to be, the heading for paragraph 1, and we have the link also. I will click on this to go to the second paragraph, visit paragraph 2, and now we see we are in paragraph 2, and paragraph 2 also has a link that takes us to paragraph 1. I will click on this, and we are taken back to paragraph 1. So we see that this link takes us to specific places only within the same HTML page, because we are making use of IDs for the redirection. So that is how to use links or anchor tags in HTML.